Welcome back to episode 12 of the Tech Lounge, and I'm joined here by Kev from Tech Showdown. How you doing, Kev?
I'm doing great, Brian. How about you?
Really good, man. Really good. We got the used parts. I spent the whole weekend doing used parts. I think the people loved it. People were they're loving that. Like, I want more of this. But I was going to finish this thing yesterday, but ran into some hard technical difficulties. So yeah, we'll I'll fix that up later. But I've got all the benchmarking done on that rig, so I've just got to make the video. I actually got to cut it, done all the benchmarking stuff. Well, we had the G3258 and a GTX 770.
Brian, just one sec. My webcam is not showing up on the stream for some reason.
Yeah,
it's up on my end. Yeah.
Okay, that is really weird.
The window is missing. You might need to add it into XSplit, or it's not being.
Yeah, you're up, man. Yeah, it's all good. My bad. That was my bad. Oops. So there.
That's all good.
Kev was a ghost. Now he's alive.
Now I'm back.
Yeah. So, Anyway, how you doing, man?
Yeah, no, I'm good, bro. Just been cranking out all the KB Lake videos this week and doing all that. So that's been really fun. And done my first Nvidia series video where I did the GTX 1060, 1070, 1080, and Gears of War 4 and went through the specific settings you should set the game at for the best gaming experience at 1080p, 1440p, and 4K.
Yep.
So that was quite fun. It's a pretty beast of a game though. Like even at 4K, trying to get 60 frames with the 1080, you have to turn down some of the settings. It's quite a beast.
Even with the 1080.
Yeah. If you set it to ultra 1080, you get about 48 frames average.
Okay.
So you have to maybe drop off the filters and other things to help it a little bit.
I thought
a beast.
Well, see, I thought 1080 was the be all and end all. I thought it could just you could max all the sliders and just forget about life. Wasn't that the okay? Mistaken.
Maybe when we get the 1080 Ti, that'll be the case. But no, it seems like whenever you get these newer GPUs that are so powerful, the newer games that come out are just so much more difficult to run that it's sort of like a constant evolving thing. But and I checked out your Samsung monitor video, and I thought that was pretty awesome. So what made it so good, man? Is it those?
It is those LEDs. Okay, well, think about the ultra-wide, right? You've got the ultra-wide there. You've got the 100 hertz panel. You've got all that, fast. It's a fast VA panel. Like, it's responsive. The input lag's pretty damn low. But the thing that made it is those cutie LEDs. Like, that thing, you notice it straight away. Like, having testing a CCFL monitor, when I had that, when I was doing all those benchmark builds in Japan, I had that CCFL 1080p monitor. Now, the funny thing is, this is when I really just started. I started getting fed up. Like I've got a 4K monitor, I've got a 1440p monitor, and they're wide LED backlit. Then I've got the CCFL there, little 1080p from 2008 Acer panel. I started playing games on this thing, and I was just like, wow, this is really good. For some reason, it seems sharper. The details there.
Yeah.
Your green, your reds, they're popping more than they would on a 4K TN panel with wide LED backlighting. So when I got the QD LED in, I knew exactly what to look for, with your own two eyes. Instead of having someone go out there and tell you, oh my God, I've got this machine that is nowhere near what a human eye is. Like, you can't compare a machine to a human eye. The machine's spitting out numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Biological eyes are made up a lot differently to these machines. So,
yeah.
You got to just use your own two eyes and say, is this a good product? And the CF791, man, phenomenal. I bought it myself, so people can't call me sellout and all this bullshit. I went on eBay and bought it myself for $1,000 because I wanted different backlighting. Wide LEDs are a scourge on our eyes. They're terrible. They should have. Yeah. We got shafted. The whole tech industry's been shafted, but no one goes on about it. But me, I'm the only guy who seems to go on about it. But I don't know. Maybe I just appreciate my vision. I don't really know what it is. So, imagine. I couldn't imagine life without my vision. So, take care of your eyes, guys. Take care of your eyes. Go watch the video. I don't just praise the QD LED backlit monitor. I also talk about why it's good, why you should be getting anything but wide LEDs. Even go out and buy a second-hand CCFL backlit monitor. test it yourselves. You know,
it's actually not that bad price wise. I mean, like, it's, what do you say? It's about $1,000
USD, which is it's
US.
expensive. I mean, it is expensive. Some people are going to.
It is expensive for a monitor, but when you compare it to all the other ultra wides, that's about middle of the road. That's not even like high end in terms of the ultra wide market. I'm seeing plenty that go up higher than that.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. It's got. Yeah, and then it's got 100 hertz and AMD FreeSync. But I mean, I'm not really buying it for that. I'm buying, I'm on this thing so many hours of the day, and it's productivity that I'm concerned with. And yeah, my eyes are already been getting treated. You probably noticed my eyes are like wide open lately. I can see I can see the light.
Yeah, I can see the light now.
Yeah, Jar Jar's happy too, man. He's now he can look at QD LEDs as well. So everyone's happy around here. Everyone is over the moon. Then I watched the tennis last night, Nadal versus Federer. Oh my god, what a match! What a match! Tennis. I don't know. Tennis is really popular in Oz. I don't know why. So I guess it's just an awesome sport.
Yeah.
It's just huge, man. Nadal versus Federer is like a dream final, and Federer, good on him. So yeah. So QD LEDs, guys, it's legit. It's hopefully it's rolled out in more budget monitors like 1080p, 1440p. Hopefully it's rolled out in some of those more budget options, even 60 hertz, because we have to start getting better technology in our monitors than white LEDs.
Exactly.
They're terrible. They're terrible. Yeah. And I mean, I noticed it straight away with my eyes. I can see detail way better. So. Okay, I don't know what that noise is. It's like, every time...
Is that on my end?
No, it's on my end, man. There's a real, like every time, this is a true story. Every time I go to film, every time I go to do something, there's always...
that's the YouTuber curse, man. As soon as you start... It's like dead quiet, and then you sit down, you're like, okay, it's going to start filming, and then as soon as you do, it's like someone starts a lawnmower or something, you're like, oh.
Yeah, this is it. Like, no, legit. And my brother here, he's witness to it sometimes as well. It'll be pitch quiet for 2 hours. I go to start filming, done all everything. 20 cars drive by. Guys doing burnouts. It's stupid. Like, now I'm gonna. So we'll move on to the first topic, and then I'll go figure out what this noise is. It's ridiculous. Because it's probably
it's all good. I can't actually hear it.
Actually, it just stopped then. Thank God. So we're going to hear the first topic. We're going to move on here. Nvidia Volta allegedly launching in 2017. 12 nanometers FinFET technology. This is pretty huge. What do you think about this? I mean, it looks pretty legit. It would
take me by surprise, Like I can understand. I mean, by saying 2017, I expect it to be at the very end. Would you not expect it around like October, November type time? That's when I would expect it, anyways. But it just kind of takes me a little bit by surprise.
It does. They would. Well, what WCCF is saying. This is why I pulled up the article. It's not like your typical, oh my god, this is going to be the best thing ever, it's going to change your life. What they're kind of saying is that they're going to release it on the business end, the 12 nanometer on the business end, and then they're going to refresh Maxwell for the gaming lineup. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, because AMD haven't even got their GTX 1070 competitor out yet. So, Nvidia were like, well, that's R&D cash, we can just refresh a whole nother year with better clock speeds, maybe a few more CUDA cores on the 2070. So they've got some options there, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to roll this year with the Maxwell refresh. That's what they're basically saying in this article. So the GTX.
That's what it sort of seems like. They're saying. I would imagine that would be kind of the case. But I think, as I've said so many times, NVIDIA, these types of articles are cool to read, but NVIDIA are going to be playing this extremely reactionary. They're going to be watching to see what AMD does with Vega, and depending on how that goes, that will basically determine what they release and when they release it. So I would imagine they're going to wait till Vega comes out, and then the 1080 Ti will come out, which will be very similar to the Titan XP, and then that will those will fight it out for a little while. But right now, if you think about it from Nvidia's perspective, I mean, they've got the entire high-end GPU market to themselves. So why would they release anything? People are still buying 1080s, people are still buying 1070s and 1060s.
Intel all over again, 2006. Intel all over again. They've just taken the lead. They've taken the lead, and then all they're doing with it is basically rolling and saying, "Hey, we've got the lead. We're going to make profit off it now." So, I mean, you can't I mean, you can't blame them though. That's the thing. You can't blame them for running a business. So, I just wish AMD get their cards out. They compete. They bring the competition, and they bring it hard. That's all I want. So, but as far as
exactly.
The good thing is we may even see a 2060 Ti as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there might be something like that. And by the way, guys in chat, Brian meant Pascal, not Maxwell. So
sorry,
stop freaking out. He's a pretty. You guys, it's funny. We do so many tech reviews that a lot of times things blur together. But that's not to say it's just that all the different names for things, because we have to cover so much, it can blur together sometimes. So that's why you can make mistakes like that.
Well, technically, Pascal is just Maxwell on roids. That's all, with higher clock speed. So there's not much of a difference there, anyways. But sorry, my bad, Pascal.
But they're saying in the article though that most likely, and this is what a lot of people are saying, there most likely will be like a Pascal refresh before you see Volta, and I think that's pretty consistent. So you'll see something like that. Probably with more upgraded memory and other things like that too, higher clock speeds.
What do you guys think of the chat? You think we're going to get this? I think we're going to get served in 2017 a refresh. That's what I think we're going to get. So
I just don't see why they would ever, unless Vega is just like absolutely smashes Nvidia in terms of their cards and in terms of price of performance, then I think they might get desperate and release something
they
super
bring
powerful.
It out.
But otherwise, I think they'll just sit on their hands. But yeah, if it smashes them, then maybe they'll maybe skip the Pascal refresh and jump straight to Volta or something like that just to catch back up. But I highly doubt that would be the case. Like there's like a 5% chance that's the case.
Alrighty, well,
otherwise be smashing out these Pascal refreshes.
So no, I was cruising through WCCF Tech News, and they've got a good article here about Nvidia's interest in the Founders Edition cards. It's growing. It's going to continue to grow. The add-in board partners are kind of getting pissed off because that's eating up their profits.
They're really unhappy with that. Yeah,
and so Nvidia's like, well, because it's it's actually a big market. Like they're getting millions and millions in profit, hundreds of millions. It's a profitable market. Nvidia are like, well, we can just start doing that too. So basically, the article's a little bit. It doesn't really post any figures, but it is something to think about. Like the board partners, and that's why I think in this case, sort of MSI, AMD, Gigabyte, and stuff who swing both ways, they're kind of in a good position where they can sort of just pick up and make more AMD cards. But I feel sorry for like EVGA and obviously like Zotac, the guys who are Nvidia only. And they can't, and they can't do anything about it. What's your opinion there? Like, I feel sorry for these guys. This is their whole line of business, and Nvidia's just coming in and saying, "Okay, we're going to do what we want, and we're going to take away your business." Which even if you've been loyal to us, we don't care.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, the Founders Edition themselves shouldn't. I don't know a single person that actually owns one because. They're more expensive. They usually come in at a higher than, well, at least they did for the 1070, 1080. It was only just because Nvidia had the monopoly early on that was about the only one you could get. But yeah, I can understand why the add-in board partners and stuff are upset because it is Nvidia selling something directly instead of going through the different companies. But I think it only does well for them at the start because they release the graphics card and
just a second.
Then, what's up? You alright?
It's like right when you start streaming, some dude gets out like I don't even know what it is. It's like a whistle. Like he's got this whistle and he's just like ooh out the front of my door. Like
Oh, okay.
so I'm just like troll this, slam the door, and of course I will start sweating a little bit, but sure you don't mind that.
Or you can take your shirt off and the views will go through the roof.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. As I was saying, I think honestly, when it comes down to the Founders Edition, I think the board partners might get a bit grumpy, but I honestly don't think it probably impacts them that much. It's just when it first is released, the real people that are super hyped will buy the card, which will most likely be a Founders because there's nothing else to buy, and then I was watching Playtech's section on graphics cards where you can buy them, and it was only for about the first few months that you could get a Founders Edition, and then they disappeared off the website.
Yeah, well, they were holding a monopoly, man. Like that's the thing. They're setting back the custom designs a couple of months, and they're just releasing their Founders Edition exclusive for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. So it's annoying that they're doing that. Just to drive sales to their own brand, but especially when something else has been in place, it's sort of like an agreement's been in place for years and years beforehand. But
yeah,
it's just sad to see the industry go this way. AMD,
it is to a certain perspective, but I mean AMD sort of, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, AMD has Sapphire, so in a lot of ways they're kind of doing it already to a certain degree. With the fact that they own one of the companies that distribute their GPUs, so they sort of do it, but in an indirect kind of way.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right, well, this is the next article we got up here. Asus is announcing the Dino Curve MX34VQ. Now, it's kind of making news, but that's the thing, right? I looked straight away. Does it have QD LEDs in the back? And that's what I asked myself. They're sort of alluding to, they're alluding to what backlighting it actually has, but just looks like it's got white LEDs in the back. So that's what I mean. Like, I'm going to be making a big focus now on high-end monitors. If they're coming out, if high-end monitors are going to start being released, then they need high-end backlighting. Or at least something better than the lowest of the low backlighting. So, I mean, the specs look really good. You've got 34-inch, you've got 1800R curvature, apparently home theater quality audio. But is this panel, is it going to hit the market and have that awesome backlighting? Is it going to have something different to white LEDs?
Yeah.
And I'd say no, because they've got Asus Eye Care here, and essentially it just does what Flux does. Can drop the blue light and give you a warm orange sort of tinted picture, but that's really only for nighttime use when you want to get to bed. So no, other than that, guys, that's the Asus. Is anyone waiting for the Dino Curve?
It'd be interesting to ask you guys. Do you like
they should
do you guys
call it
prefer
the Dino?
The Dino. Yeah, that'd be okay. Yeah, that might be right. I was just wondering if you guys in chat, like, do you guys enjoy ultra-wides? Would it be something you would buy, or would you just prefer a standard screen, like a normal 4K 28-inch monitor? Would you like to go for one of these, like this one, a 34-inch 3440 by 1440?
I think that's the thing with ultra wides too, right? Have you seen the 29 inches? Like, they are. Yeah. I would rather get a cheap Korean 27-inch monitor than the 29-inch wides. Like I put my hand, like my hand's 20 centimeters on my 34-inch here. It probably takes almost two hands. On a 29-inch, for some reason, my hand can almost fit the whole height of the 29-inch monitor. Like, they're ridiculously, I think they're too shallow, or they're not tall enough. And that's my gripe with the 29 inches. I think you're better off just because they're about whatever. They might be $200 sometimes. I'd say you're better off getting a Korean 1440p 27-inch. But the 1440p ones, the big 34-inch, 35 inches, they're the ones that are really damn good. They really give you a good... They open up your eyes. You're like, wow, this thing's actually pretty freaking awesome on your desk.
Exactly.
That's just my opinion with it. I think you'll start seeing a lot more people.
No, I agree.
Especially if you're going out and spending a couple of $1,000 on a rig. Think about your monitor as well. So
yeah, it's so overlooked, and I think the main thing is that I think you would agree with this. You pretty much, in my point of view, I wouldn't go to an ultra-wide if it was one of the 1080p ones that you're seeing, like the 2560 by 1080. I think you pretty much have to go to that 3440 by 1440p.
Yeah,
that's really, really nice. You get the nice resolution and a nice sort of screen real estate with that one.
And then you get the refresh rate thrown in there as a bonus. Like 100 hertz for me is just perfecto.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And then of course, so guys, the Asus, they're announcing the Dino curve.
Dino.
Yeah. I don't know. It's coming out apparently £750, 20th of March. So if you're looking for the Dino, just have to get your razor out and scrub out the SIG and that's it. Yeah. And you get the that'll make it the Dino. Alright, so we got here. Seagate plans to release a 16 terabyte hard drive next year. Like 16 terabytes. Are you freaking kidding me? On a mechanical drive, $540. So the price. Oh well, wait, that's not the price of it. That's the last year's 10 terabyte model. But you can expect it to be around a similar price. But thing is, would you, in all honesty, would you have one mechanical drive with 16 terabytes on there?
Well, I'm not sure how well... is this really aimed at the consumer market, or is this aimed at the industry?
Aimed at people who want 16 terabytes on a mechanical drive. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I mean, there was talk of even bigger coming sometime soon, 20 terabyte. But, that's... I don't know. I'd rather... Yeah, this... I don't know. I don't think I'd want to risk everything on one drive like that, all my mass storage. It's better to maybe spread out. I mean, you could if you're running a NAS, then this would probably have a place in there.
Yeah.
People running their home networks, that would. I mean, that's probably what it's been made for, actually. So then it would probably be alright if you had a few of them in there.
Yeah.
But for your average user, I'm not so sure.
Well, that's the thing. I think 3 or 4 terabytes is kind of like where you're going to top off. For me personally, like I wouldn't want any more space on my hard drive because that thing fails, man. It's like, okay, there's like a couple of days just wasted because you have to back up and get a new 16 terabyte hard drive. You're going to have to fill it up with all the data. Problems, return that 60 because you're gonna have to return and get that thing warranted because freaking 16 terabytes is gonna set you back a lot of money. So like at the moment I got a busted 3 terabyte Western Digital drive. Oh my god, this is my first experience where I had a dead Western 3 terabyte hard drive, and that's what I was telling people about the heat. This thing died in the summer. This thing died in the dead heat of summer, man. It was like a 34-degree day, and I'm like copying like my other hard drive, all the contents from that drive over to this drive, and the thing, like, it just got too hot, man. It was just too hot, and the drive just shat itself. So now it's busted. But heat will kill hard drives, like especially mechanical drives, guys. If you got mechanical drives, especially in summer, give them a fan. They deserve a fan. They need a fanboy, and that fanboy is a fan. So give them a fan, and they should be okay. I didn't, but it's still under warranty, so I'm gonna get it replaced. But just the heat can kill these things, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I tested the when I was doing my Kaby Lake testing, the Playtex Rogue system, and that had no drives in it, like no drive bays and no optical drives or anything, and it just had the single M.2, a 512 gig one.
Yep.
And that's pretty sexy, eh? I really like how clean it looks, man. Yeah. Like inside the system. So I think maybe that'll be the way forward if they start releasing M.2s for cheaper with larger sizes. I think that'll be the way of the future. People just won't run any sort of mechanical or SATA based drive.
That's true, yeah. I agree with that. So next up we got Gears of War 4 multiplayer supports crossplay. Now this is something that I really like because Gears of War 4 is a pretty popular game. So the multiplayer is going to support crossplay. Now they don't talk about the future of this, like what games are going to support crossplay, but I'm really hoping COD starts supporting crossplay so I can just get on my PC. Yeah, that would really make it popular on the PC. Yeah, if you get on COD and start poning some console boys, you know, just get on there. You just get on there, start, you know, really start getting on there, like start getting the player base all together. Now, one thing I'm worried about though, you know, you don't see PS4 here, so is that sort of where Microsoft's going to go with crossplay? Are they just going to be like, all right, Xbox One and PC only? I think that's something you're going to see, even if the game is on PlayStation 4. I think that's something you're going to see, is sort of Microsoft say, all right, well, forget about PlayStation 4. We're going to make sure this game works with our PC users and our Xbox One user base. Yeah. Because they are focusing on, I should have pulled that article up, but apparently the Project Scorpio is going to be a really powerful console. They're putting their heads to work. They're going to make a really powerful console. Yeah, like apparently it's going to be insanely fast. And so that'll be good news, because people will be like, okay, well, I'll get on Project Scorpio and there's cross-play with PC. I can play with my mates, you know, even though I've got my true colors are console. I'm a console fanboy, blah, blah, blah. My friends are PC fanboys. And there's no problems. Yeah. We're going to be able to cross-play on our favorite games. So I think that's something that Microsoft really is focusing on. And it's something that's good for the community, especially PC users, because then we've got more players to play against. And exactly, yeah. Kind of suck. If they're going to sort of go exclusivity with this and shun PlayStation users, well, I don't really care being on PCs because, you know, more of anything's better. So yeah. But yeah, I feel sorry for people on PlayStation if this is the route they're going to take. What do you think about the crossplay, Kev? It's going to happen more and more. We're already seeing it happen more and more. So I'd see it as a good thing. Obviously, more people playing, better. You know, why would I have a problem with it? You're going to have. I mean, there's sort of people say about like sort of balance issues regarding it, but I don't know. It's. You know, that's... Hey, man, maybe in certain games. Well, console peeps are telling me that controller's way better than keyboard mouse. My brother tells me this. I'm like, really? You for real, dog?
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. You for real, balls?
But I think it's... Yeah, it depends on the game. I think in first-person shooters, it's pretty, you know, fair for the most part, but maybe in other types of games, that wouldn't really work.
I think it'll work in anything, to be honest. Especially racing car games. That'd be really cool.
A racing game, that would work. Yeah, because they probably have the advantage. Actually.
Yeah, that's where I use a controller. Is the racing games. I think they're awesome for racing games, racing sims. So yeah, that's it. Gears of War. Yeah. All right. Artificial intelligence can spot skin cancers. Now this is important. I pulled this up because Aussies get a lot of... We got I think we're like one of the highest nations in the world that gets skin cancer. But I was surprised. People in the States, every year, there's 5.1 million new cases of skin cancer in the United States. That's pretty freaking huge. I mean, I know their population's pretty big, but there's still a lot of cases of skin cancer every year. So apparently they've developed this AI algorithm, and it's got deep learning. So it'll just scan through 130,000 images of skin cancer. And now apparently it's really accurate. Like after they did that, they then did test subjects, and 96% of the time this thing was on the money and spotting out malignant samples. And 90% of the time it just said, okay, that's harmless. So it's pretty accurate. Yeah. And now what they think with this article is really good, is they think you can actually put this on a smartphone in the future, and you just scan yourself, like have a look and tell me what you think, AI. And the AI will be like, oh, shit, you got to get that checked out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's a good thing for Australians, yeah.
I'll pull away this picture. It's pretty grot. You know, the viewers will be like, get that off the screen. I completely agree. What about New Zealand? You don't have any problems with skin cancer?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, New Zealand's got big problems with it as well. Okay. Because of the UV rays, we get so much here. It's ridiculous, man. You go outside and you just get burnt instantly. Aussie's bad, but it's not as bad as here.
Oh, really? Damn. So there we go. You could use AI algorithms. You could use this instead of going to a doctor. You know. Look, I'm guilty of it too. Are you ever guilty of just going on Google and being like, eye puffing up? What could it be? And then it says like, go see a doctor immediately. Okay, I'll go see a doctor immediately, but I kind of want some reassurance that this isn't eye cancer or something. You know what I mean? So symptoms of eye cancer, and so hypochondriac. I think they call it that. Yeah, hypochondriac. People who worry about
hypochondriac's a person that thinks they're sick all the time.
Yeah.
Nah, you're only an actual hypochondriac if you're like constantly going to the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Thinking you've got something bad.
Right on.
But yeah.
Have you ever met a hypochondriac?
Yeah.
You have?
I used to know one. Yeah.
A true story. Okay, so we're going to have Windows. Moving on to the next topic, we've got Windows 10 Creators Preview is out. So they got their game mode, they got streaming. They've also got a cool feature here, built-in Flux, essentially. That's really cool, because now, now I can uninstall Flux and have one less app in the program. But it's kind of sad for Flux, because Flux has always been awesome, but you can actually change your color temperature at night, and you can have it so it automatically does it all for you. But it's going to be sad to see Flux go. Flux has been part of my life, for the last couple of years. It's been a really good program. If you guys aren't using Flux and you're on a white LED backlit monitor, go download it. Seriously, go download Flux now, install it, and you'll be sleeping better at night. Well, unless you've got blue light glasses. So go do it right now.
Like gunners.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. So they got that built in. The game mode's still ambiguous, man. I mean, apparently, like, one guy in the comments, like, he lost a ton of frames. His Gears of War went down from 140 down to 70. And things are broken.
Yeah.
So apparently, is it working properly? I don't know. What is game mode? Is it just apparently it gives exclusivity to the game or whatever? And I don't know.
It'll just stop everything going on in the background that doesn't really need to be going on.
Yeah. Well, then they got useless streaming feature. I mean, if you're streaming, you're going to be still using your whatever XSplit, or you're going to be using OBS. You're still going to be using the programs that you're using because you trust them. You know how they work. Yeah. I'm actually I was a little bit hyped for this, but after seeing it, I'm not too hyped, except for the inbuilt Flux. That's pretty hype.
I mean, it's still a while off yet, though, isn't it?
No, they're rolling it out. Like, they're rolling it out to preview.
Yeah, to preview. Yeah. But they could they'll probably still make a few changes here and there before it actually goes live for the rest of us.
They're rolling it out, brother. That's what they're doing right now. You got to get excited, man. You got to get excited for Windows 10 Creators Build. Okay, next article we got here. Intel announces their full revenues. So they're up 7% from 2015 results. Like, are you kidding me? They're up.
It's amazing, that they can still keep going up. I mean, it could be over other areas.
I'm really surprised that they went up. Like, that's something that's kind of shocked me, because we've sort of had nothing but hashtag rehash, 2016 and stuff like that. But of course, their server industry is really strong. You can see that exactly. Their revenues up 7%, so 17.2 billion from 16 billion a year ago. So that's the data group center, you see.
Yeah. So, that's what's pulling them up.
Yeah, their business sector's doing really well.
Yeah.
So it's all the stuff that we really don't hear about is up, which is good, because then, consumer products and server products kind of go hand in hand, right? You consume
to a certain degree,
yeah, because you're always going to get your consumer products generally once upon a time they're just spin-offs of the business. The business stuff was the cream of the crop, then the consumers got all the dregs kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your friend giving you that last 10% of his Gatorade or whatever. You're like, oh man, I'm thirsty, man. Man, I'm thirsty. I want to drink that, man. He's like, it might have backwash. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It might have backwash in it. So you're still getting the Gatorade, but you might have a bit of backwash in it and whatever. This is exactly what's going on here. Consumers, we're getting the backwash. So, but it's good backwash. 5820K, that was good backwash. G4560, there's some good backwash coming out at the moment. So. So there's some good stuff coming out. What do you think, though? What do you think?
Well, it's interesting because it says their desktop platform volume was down 9%.
There you go.
So notebook volumes remained flat. So it is just this business section with their servers and stuff like that.
It's carrying
and other stuff, and all the data stuff. Yeah, that'll all be pulling them up, which is what a lot of us expected.
Well, it says the client computing group as well. That's up 2%. So it's everything to do with non-us mainstream gamers and whatever, and us enthusiasts. It's everything but enthusiasts is up, and so that's sort of carrying the whole thing up. It's carrying the whole statistic up. You said, 9% down. It's like, damn, that's a bad statistic. So desktop platform volume was down 9%. It's like, damn, that's pretty big news. So everyone's waiting for Zen, everyone's waiting for Zen, but I guess Intel just doesn't care. That's pretty much in a nutshell.
Yeah,
because they don't have to care, because it's like, they're down 9%. They just really don't care because it's not affecting their business. Their main chunk of their business is the server market, database
data centers.
Exactly. So this is where it's at. So
they'll still be sitting pretty. I mean, with Ryzen, there are going to be CPUs made for server use, which we've discussed previously. So it's not like AMD's going to completely leave Intel to that area. They are going to attempt to pull some of that money away from them.
I haven't pulled up the manifesto yet. I'm going to pull up the manifesto right now. So this is
the
interesting. The manifesto. Yeah, that's it. We're going to pull up the. Hey, come on, man. We're going with an O theme today. We got the Asus Dino. We got you got the Asus Dino. We got the manifesto. So what we got here is, this is actually really cool. I'm kind of surprised because it's saying that AMD Summit Ridge, we're going to have the 8-core 16-thread scoring around about 1300 in Cinebench, if I'm reading this right.
I think it means above 1300 by the arrow. For this special Zen SR7 will be above 1300. Then the non-special one, which I guess will be some different one, will be about 1300, which puts it in line with a 6850K.
But I mean, I'm looking at the one here for $350, because I mean, $150 surcharge for a sort of like a cherry pick sample, still going to be
which is what we would expect it.
A lot of people, it's like the 8320 versus the 8350. I would have picked the 8320. Like it offered better value. You take that.
Exactly.
You get your money. You go to the casino. Why do you go to the casino? You go to the casino to gamble. It's like okay, so it's like dropping $40 on a hand of blackjack, and you can only win $20, but you got now a 75% chance of winning, or a 73% chance. What are you going to do? I'm going to play the $20 so I can double up. You know what I mean? I'm going to play the gamble, bro. Go to Silicon Lottery. Save 100. Actually, that's not too bad. I mean, it depends on how much extra these clocks these chips are clocking on average. So it depends on how much better the cherry pick sample is over the non-cherry pick sample. But I'm loving the price of that 8-core 16-thread at $350, if that's a reality.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea if this is legit or not. But what I find also interesting is the Zen SR5, that 6-core. Yeah, they're saying actually has 12 threads.
Yeah.
So we spoke last time about how, from the information we had then, that it was looking to be a 6-core 6-thread, but they're saying, well, from this it looks like it's going to be a 6-core 12-thread. What's interesting is that they're saying it's going to get a Cinebench score of about 1,000, and it's going to come in at about $250.
Yeah.
If you look down below it at the Intel lineup from Skylake, and remember that the difference between Skylake and Kaby Lake isn't very big at all. The IPC alone is identical. You'd see that would be beating a stock 6700K.
It would be, yeah, for $250.
Yeah,
like, that's looking really good.
$80 less.
That's what I mean.
$80 less.
And I was telling you, I was hyped for the 6-core. A lot of people are going to be hyped for that 4-core 8 threads. That's going to be cool, but the 6-core 12 threads, I think that's what it's going to be at.
I think that's going to be a beast, yeah. A lot of people in the tech community are telling me that's the one they're keeping their eye on.
Yeah, imagine coupling that with a B350K, because the X370 board, you're probably going to want to get that with an 8-core 16 thread, just because you're going to have the extra phases there on the VRM. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but 6-core 12-thread B350. That looks like it's going to be your sweet spot, even for the guys who want to go get out a GTX 1070, a GTX 1080, or even a Vega GPU if they want to hold out. This looks like it's going to be the CPU to get on a budget, if indeed that 1000 Cinebench points is true for it out of the box. You know, if that's not true, if that's like max overclocks, and geez, we're done. Because you know, the 6700K 4-core, the 6700K 4-core can get like 1080 when it's overclocked. I still got to delete that thing and do a video, but yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just did it the other day. So a 6600K at 4.4 gigahertz will score about 727 in Cinebench. So, and a 7600K will score the same thing. So if you think, if it's at 1000, unless your 6600K or 7600K probably overclocks up to like 4.9 gigahertz, even then I don't think it would beat it. It wouldn't get over 1000, or you might get up to 900. But that's a tall order to beat. So if, judging by that, if it does get 1000 straight out of the box, then Intel's going to be in trouble, because there's no way even a 7700K is going to have trouble catching up to that guy. If that's at stock speed and it overclocks like crazy, then the 7700K will.
It's done. It's just throw it away. Yeah, just go get it returned. Yeah. Return your Z270 motherboard. Life's over.
Well, they said it. They said it here. This is exactly right. I just noticed it. So this shows my numbers are correct. They put beside it 720 at 4.5 for the 6600K and 1030 at 4.7 for the 6700K. So, you know, you'd maybe get a bit higher, maybe get up to 1100 if you can get your 7700K up to 5 gigahertz. But how far is that SR5 going to go? You know, how powerful is that going to be? And that's what would be interesting. But this is unverified, so we don't know how correct this is.
The E could stand for estimated too. And I mean, there's going to be people like, why are we even looking at Cinebench R15? I mean, Cinebench is single-handedly, I love this benchmark. I mean, look, it stresses all the threads available. It stresses the whole CPU. You can go do it yourself. Pull up the whatever media you want to watch. You hit the start button on Cinebench, your CPU's loaded up to 100%, full loaded. It gives you just a realistic score of how this thing is going to perform. It's just like the physics score. I like the physics score in Firestrike, but I think that's a little bit tilted towards hyper-threading. Same with this, of course. Cinebench R15.
Oh, Cinebenches,
yeah, they're both tilted towards hyper-threading, but they give you a max theoretical score that you can...
For multi-threaded performance, which is more... I mean, it's starting to become more common in gaming, but
especially on the 4-core 8 threads,
productivity thing.
Especially on the lower end, core counts. That's where it's relevant. The max core, like the 10-core 20 thread, even the 8-core 16 thread, it's sort of a little bit irrelevant, especially with Adobe, not giving us proper freaking multi-threaded support. Like, it starts to curve off. Freaking what the hell? But give us the 6-core 12 thread. Like, make it happen, guys. I really want to see this. $250. Yeah. What's there not?
Man, that's a lot of power for $250 if this stays consistent.
It is, man. So guys, get hyped in the comments. Just in caps, AMD's back, guys. Spelled with, instead of spelling it GUYS, spell it GAIS. Go for it in the comments.
Yeah, I've heard. Have you heard anything more about Ryzen's release date?
No, not yet. And even if I did, if I was under NDA, I couldn't say anything either. So,
it's not under. Well, I've heard something from the industry, which I'm pretty sure I can tell people, but it may not be correct though. So there's just things I hear from different people. But I'm pretty sure it will be out sometime in March. Apparently, that's when there's a lot of chat about March in terms of different dates and stuff like that. I don't know if it's at the very start or at the very end, but that's the month that I keep hearing from people that things are expected due to promises by different people for different things. I'll put it that way. But that's what I keep hearing March, and so that's what I think right now it'll be coming out then.
So March is going to be the month where we've got different folks for different strokes.
Yeah, hopefully that's what it's looking at, and then Vega is looking like it's going to be pushed back to sort of June, July type time. Yeah.
All right, so we've got here next Biostar AM4. They're going to release their X370s, their B350 motherboards. Looks pretty good. They're going with the camo. I like the camo. Camo's really cool. But racing flag. Okay, I'm looking at this closely.
Yeah, it's a checkered flag. Yeah.
Okay, so the guys. You get the racing chair. Now you need your racing motherboard. Don't tell me this is going to be the 2017. 2016 was easily the year of RGB. Is 2017 going to be the year of racing? Everything. Your soundbar's going to have checkered flags on it. Your monitor's going to have bezels checkered flags, and you're going to get a condenser microphone with a chair racing car spoiler on it.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit concerned here. A racing motherboard, fuck, what does it do? Doesn't do anything. Motherboard's a motherboard. You just, as long as it's got a good VRM, that's really all you need.
It's just for racing. It's just the thing that they do. I can understand why they've done it, because they put this GT. There's the GT3 racing, which is the Porsche racing. So maybe that's what they were going for with the GT5.
If they 7. Now, I'd pay for that. I'd legitimately pay for this if they could put a speaker on there and have its own separate chip, so when you press the power button, it goes vroom.
Oh my god! They do that. They did it already with the laptop I've been testing. The Predator. When you turn it on, it makes this big growling noise.
Well, no, it needs to be or even start playing that when you go to turn your PC off, it goes that Schumacher song. Schumacher. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna get serious here. B350 is where I've been looking. My eyes have been on the B350 since they announced it. I think it's going to be the cookie cutter. It's going to be that board you're going to get, because this time around they're not going to make that mistake of giving it the 970 boards. They were releasing some of those things with terrible VRMs. This time around, I think they're going to make it power. This one looks it's got a 7-phase design. We don't know what sort of MSI and the others are doing exactly on their VRMs yet, but rest assured, you're going to see some really solid B350s come out. And the best thing about the B350 is they've got 2 PCI legacy slots on there. That is so freaking cool, because I'm a big fan of having a PCI sound card over a PCIe sound card. A, they're cheaper. B, they don't have as many problems. So I think that's cool that they're bringing back PCI. Really freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's only on the B350. You look at the X370, they ain't got PCI. So B350 greater than symbol X370, bro.
I suppose you could put it that way, but the X370 definitely makes up with it with that 14-phase power.
Yeah. Well, that's
that'll be the one for the serious. The enthusiasts will gravitate towards the X370. But
Biostar, though, for Biostar, I was looking at Biostar's financials too. This is another thing. Scary fact, guys. These guys were predicted to go bankrupt already, so apparently their financials are looking pretty bad. Apparently, they apparently got so much debt. It's not funny. So.
Yeah, it's interesting as well that we have on the X370 if you skip through the pictures on the top one, there's got the GT7, then the X370 GT5, which goes down to a 7-phase power as well.
Yeah.
Which means, just looking from the specs they've provided, there's very little difference between that lower model X370 and the B350, except the fact that it's digital power.
Is that are they ripping a Zeus off there with DigiPower? Because I've got a H81M that's got DigiPower on it, so we're going to see a Zeus release some real, hard-hitting B350s. Like, you're going to see a lot of companies hit hard with the B350s. That's going to be a no-brainer. But what I'm concerned is Biostar is they're going to have a tough time making a name for themselves, because motherboards are actually a pretty competitive market. Like,
Yeah.
you've got 4 different companies really going for the desktop market. You know, ASRock, MSI, Gigabyte, or Aorus now, is it? Aorus? And Asus.
Well, that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got 4 companies really going hard at it. I kind of find, I see Biostar having a real tough time picking up their brand name.
Yeah, I don't see that going particularly well. So.
And plus, if someone buys this and they have a problem, you're going to hear about it a lot more than the other 4, right? Because it's a new company. Someone's going to be nervous about buying it. So if they buy the Gigabyte and they got a problem, I'll just return it. It happens. If they buy the Biostar and they have a problem, oh my God, this new company I've never bought anything from had a problem. Vent. You know, so
yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be hard for them to enter the market. That's all. What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know in the chat. So there's a lot of, you know, gigabytes for life and stuff like that. But hopefully I will be. Like, I'm going to be focusing on the B350 when I first get it. It looks like it's going to be awesome. But yeah, that's about it for topics, guys. We got questions. We had one question on the forum. Question for Deck Lounge. Do you think it's going to be a common practice with... So we're going to move on to Q&A, guys. Start asking those questions. Go at it in the chat. I've got it like, because I'm using the stream. I've got the UltraWide right here. I've got this, so my head's going to be turned to here to read the comments. A little bit sorry about that, fellas. Just bear with me. So Kev will be reading questions too. But first question we got here on the forum. So we're going to take priority to the forums. So if you want to sign up to the forums, techcity.tv/forum. Sign up. Awesome place. We've got awesome people there. Do you think it's going to be a common practice for newer high-end enthusiast Intel CPUs to have to delid them? Apply new thermal compound before you overclock them. Now, I think with X99, they're not going to do that, because X99's that you pay good money for X99. You pay it on the motherboard and you pay it on the CPU. Now, if you're going to cut down on the enthusiast lineup, if you're going to cut down on that real sort of, you know, like, you're going to have people in business, because people in business, you know, I know a lot of people who are on X99 for business.
Yeah.
Because that's what, like, you know, it's great for a single solution in your home for whatever you're doing. If you're a photo editor, photographer, whatever, a lot of people are using X99. Now, if you're cutting down, if you're skimping on that, that's going to be bullshit, because you're going to have that one CPU that thermal place isn't applied properly, and that person's going to be, you know, throwing rocks. He's going to be livid. So I don't think it'll happen on X99. Of course, it's happened on the 4 cores, and it's going to keep happening on the 4 cores. Intel's saving money. You know, all those real enthusiasts, they're just delidding the things anyway. And to be honest, I think if you do a delid, I'm going to probably just go out on a whim here and say that I honestly think that if you delid a chip, it's actually better than a solder, like the fluxless solder. Because you've got that liquid, especially with Cool Laboratories Liquid Pro. That stuff is amazing. You spread that on, nice even layer, drop that thing back on. Temps are incredible now. So, I mean, I'm not defending Intel. Like, I hate the fact that they're cost cutting and it's affecting the majority of people on the 4 cores. But at the same time, if you delid, it's pretty cool if you got the Cool Laboratories Liquid Pro on there. So, I don't know.
I just think it just feels like we're going backwards. I mean, I thought we dealt with this in Devil's Canyon. Now we're back at it again, you know?
Yeah. The problem is the Haswell refresh. They fixed the thermal paste on the Haswell refresh. They fixed it. Like, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Kaby Lake, it's terrible. Like, it's actually, I think it's the worst it's ever been.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's bad.
I would agree 100%.
It's really bad. I can't wait to get my little delid tool, because I don't recommend doing the vice method on Skylake or Kaby Lake. I think the PCBs are too thin. The risk of damaging your CPU is a lot higher than it is on Haswell. A lot higher. And Ivy Bridge. So get a proper tool. If you're going to delid, get a proper tool, because the PCBs are just too thin. We're going to move over to some questions here. Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of questions coming in. Kev, you got to keep up on this, bro.
Yeah. I was just someone asked, what is better, upgrade Ryzen or FreeSync? I'm not really sure. Do you mean because it's kind of 2 separate things. If you're wondering what one will, it's very difficult in terms of which one's going to upgrade your experience the most. I mean, it depends on what you're running right now. FreeSync is pretty cool. I do like it. But then again, a lot of people don't even notice problems with that, with screen tearing and stuff. You know, like a lot of people don't actually care that much, or they'll just turn VSync on and they won't worry about ghosting type issues and that. So it depends on the person. But yeah, I think Ryzen for a lot of people will be a very good upgrade. Hopefully. Anyways,
as long as these numbers are ringing true. If those Cinebench numbers are ringing true, Ryzen's going to kick ass. What do we think about the new G4560? I absolutely love it. I've done a couple of videos on it already. Phenomenal CPU for the money. It's going to be hard to beat. It's really going to be hard to beat on the extreme budget end, especially since it can be coupled with those dirt cheap motherboards. The G4560 is easily a win. Of course, I want to see what AMD have for Ryzen, but it's not going to get much better, even if it did get better. That's all I'm going to say. Biostars, apparently a lot of people are like, okay, they've been using their boards for 15 years. Dang, okay. I've never seen them on retail shelves in Oz. So I don't know how long they've been out for, but I checked their financials, and apparently they're pretty bad. So I shouldn't. Maybe I should keep that off the stream though. Don't want to. don't want to like. If you're using Biostar and you're happy, keep using them, guys. Okay, don't let my stupid opinions affect you. How much is a used i2600 in your country? Here, i7s are expensive, man. If I was going for an i7 2600, I'd get the K version easy, because you can just get a Xeon variant. Yeah. You can just get the 1231 V, just the first. I think it's the first, whatever, V2 maybe. You can get the Sandy Bridge Xeon variant, and it's going to be a little bit cooler. But they go pretty expensive. I'd say they'd easily still be around 150 US for a 2600K at least.
That was the biggest crime I think I ever saw from Intel, was the 2600K and the 2700K. The fact that they charged so much more for the 2700K, and the only difference between it was that it had 100 megahertz higher clock speed. That was the only difference. Yeah, well, you can overclock the thing anyway. The 2700 and the 2600K. They were both overclockable, and so many people fell into that trap. Which is quite sad, that they did that to people. So I didn't like that Intel did that. Looking back now, I think that was very cheeky.
Yeah, it was a cheeky move. So, got asked here, have you guys tried the microboard ultra-wide Korean monitor? No, but apparently it's got the same panel as the Samsung. When I saw the Samsung had the QD LEDs, I just, I saw that. I've been watching the microboard for a few months. I almost bought it. I mean, there was a few videos up. I think what is it? Critical Strike. So Critical Strike did a video on the microboard, and it was pretty good. I was like, damn, I want to buy one of these things, but I was like, nah, white LEDs. Before I buy a high-end monitor, I'm going to wait for proper backlighting. I started. Remember we were talking about OLEDs with the last couple of weeks. We're talking about OLEDs. So I just started doing research. I was like, okay, what Hisense released this QD LED TV, and I started researching, and then this monitor popped up, and I was like, are you serious? It's out already? It's not out on Australian. I don't know if it's out on Australian retail shelves yet, but it was on frickin' eBay from Dreamseller. Now Dreamseller's awesome. He's pretty cool. I love buying from this guy. I bought a few Korean monitors from him already. Every time they've been on point, I was just like, dude, can you mark this thing down customs a little bit? Just a little bit. Get it under the limit. He's like, yeah, sure, bro. Do your deal. It did me a deal. Best monitor I've ever used in my life.
Yeah.
QD LEDs, they're legit. So the microboard, I'd say, spend the extra money. That's just my opinion, because I know I've got a white LED Korean monitor right here. Like, this is it here. Here it is here, guys, I could mark it on the stream, but here it is here. It's, white LEDs, you can just see the difference. Like, side by side, they've both got VA panels, I believe. This is a Korean monitor with a VA panel. And I've got them side by side, and you can see the difference. There's just... it does make a difference. I'd recommend just paying the extra money. Your eyes will thank you. Even if you don't consciously notice it, subconsciously, your eyes will be saying, thank you for this glorious QD-LED technology. How much in Australia for a Snickers? They're going on special at Coles for $1. Glad you asked, because Snickers is amazing. Yeah,
this question was quite good. If you do a lot of multitasking, how noticeable is the difference between a 4-core to a 6/8-core with hyperthreading in your experience? So I actually went from a 4770K, which is a quad-core with hyperthreading, to a 6900K, which is an 8-core with hyperthreading. It's not so much the noticeability in multitasking, I would say, unless you're just doing extreme multitasking with, heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff. It's more the productivity. You really notice it, like render times when I'm doing my videos. Oh, it's just halved, if not more. Yeah. That side of things has just been fantastic. So that's really where I've noticed the major difference. In gaming performance between the two, there's not that much difference, to be honest. I don't think I would notice any difference between the two. To be completely fair, the single-threaded performance isn't anything to write home about. It's just that pure grunt of the multi-threaded performance when you're doing productivity stuff is absolutely fantastic, and that's where I really notice it. And if you're doing photo editing and other things like that, you'll really notice it as well, going up to a 6-core or 8-core.
Yeah, I'll play my 2 cents here. I think the 6-core is the balance king, personally. I think if you overclock that thing, you've got because the most multitasking I'll ever do is have a game open, I'll be rendering, I'll be listening to music, and I'll be on Skype, whatever. You're doing 4 different things at the same time. You will notice a difference going from a 4-core to a 6-core doing that. Even more so, an 8-core would be a little bit better, but 6-core is really the balance there if you're a power user and you're doing a lot of stuff at the same time. Any more than that, the more you do, the more cores you'd want, obviously, but as well the memory speeds I find this is where the memory speeds make the difference, in my opinion. If you overclock your memory to ridiculously high levels, they do help with multitasking. That's just what I've found. Like, just when you're snapping between programs, I notice a little bit. I'm pretty anal retentive though, so some people are going to be like, but I'm pretty anal retentive about these little things like this, but that's when memory speeds do make a bit of a difference. Also got asked V-Motor M100s. I'm wearing V-Motors, but they're the crossfade LPs. Now, these things are ridiculously good for neutral sound. Like, I don't know which model they are. I just bought them used for $50, but when I started editing with them, they were extremely good for editing. Never had someone complain about my audio ever since I got these, so I love them. Consumer listening, like end colored headphones, I've got the L1s, but they're colored, so they're pretty warm headphones. Crossfade LPs, I absolutely love them as an all-rounder, and they're good for music, they're good for editing, really good headphones. V-Motor makes some incredible products too, so had to check them out. X99's already dead. Yes, it is. X299's already been announced. That is true. Okay, so next upgrade, new 144 hertz. Oh, I lost the question. The guy was asking about, so many questions coming in, guys. Awesome, I love it, because sometimes you get no questions. I'd rather there be a lot of questions. I lost the question, man.
What memory were you running, by the way? What memory are you running? What speed, since we're just talking about it?
3 gigahertz at the moment. Just running the Panther 8. Actually, no, I'm running them at 2600, I think. I've got the timings down. I've actually got to check which one I did. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We got here. Next upgrade. He wants a new 144 hertz 1080p monitor. Oh, wait, no, he didn't ask a question. Oh, my God, he just said he was getting that. What is a better upgrade, Ryzen or FreeSync?
We already talked about that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Ryzen.
I'd say anyway. I said
Ryzen would be difficult to answer.
Yeah, it depends on what your priorities are, but Ryzen's a big upgrade. It's going to be... why isn't the G4560 in the US yet? That's interesting. Hey, I've got no idea why. I guess they're testing it.
Should be.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. You've seen it with eBay, you've seen it with a few companies before. You see, like, Australia, for instance, is like a testing ground. I think they want to see how well the G4560 does in Australia and the UK, and then maybe they can sort of like figure out the pricing a little bit. Oh shit, this CPU is selling too well, it's going to be cutting out the i3 completely. Maybe we should up the price $20. I think that's why, because the US is a huge market, right? That's, you know, if the G4560 hits the US, I can imagine so many people buying this thing. So I think that's why it hasn't hit the US yet. If there was a legit reason for it, that would probably be it. I think they're testing the waters with it in other countries to see how well it sells, and then you're going to see it hit the US. But I think it's just such good value for money. Australia, it's 78 Australian dollars. Freaking bargain. 58 USD or whatever converted. That's insane for a CPU. New CPU like that. Okay. Yeah,
one question I was expecting. Would it be worth buying a 144Hz IPS 1440p monitor now or later and just buy a 60Hz 1440p monitor now? I have a R9 Fury Nitro. Oh, nice choice. Waiting, and it will be pairing with a Ryzen CPU. So I actually really, really, really love 1440p high refresh rate. It's probably my favorite types of monitors are those ones. It's just so good for gaming. Oh, it's just, especially if it's G-Sync or FreeSync as well.
Have you tried the Samsung UltraWide?
Transforms it. Yeah, I haven't tried the Samsung yet.
There you go, man.
I will.
There you go.
Hopefully in the future. Yeah, that is really, really damn nice. I think, I mean, as Brian said earlier, you know, you do spend all your time looking at the monitor, so getting a really good monitor does transform the experience. So yeah, if you can get that really good one, then I would say it's worth it.
Yeah.
Just remember though, you need the power, the system power to run it. There's no point getting a high refresh rate monitor if your system's not powerful enough to pump the frames out.
Yeah.
If it's just going to be sitting at around 60 anyway, I mean, what's the point? So
well, the thing is,
that's what you need to consider.
Well, the thing I was going to say is I'd go with the 60 Hz 1440p now and wait for something with better backlighting and whatnot on that sort of end. I mean, personally, I'd recommend these 34 inches to anyone. They're incredible. The CF791s, absolutely love them. I'm a fanboying it, but it's worth a fanboy. You know, your eyes deserve better than white LEDs. But if you're, you know, with the Nitro, I'd just say go 60 Hz 1440p now. Save your bucks. Wait till, because, you know, look, you're going to see the CF791. It's going to sell, man. It's going to sell really well. And what that means is people are going to be saying, look, I want more for my money. I want better backlighting. They're going to be supporting Samsung. Other companies are going to see this. LG will start releasing an OLED ultra wide. You know, you're going to see LG do that now. They're going to make the push. You're going to be like, shit, well, Samsung's getting all the sales. We've got to do something about it. So this is what drives innovation, and I'm going to support the company that's driving innovation. And at the moment, Samsung's doing that. You know, Dell scrapped their OLED 4K monitor. Apparently it had contrast shift issues or whatever. So I researched it. Apparently it just had issues that were they couldn't be fixed. So yeah, none the wiser. Just go with the cheap monitor. They're $200, 200 US on eBay at the moment for a 1440p 60 Hz monitor. Just go get one of them. Hold out the apocalypse, the white LED apocalypse. Just wait it out.
I think if it's IPS, it'll still be pretty good, though, in terms of the quality. I mean, I can get what you're meaning about saving your eyes, but in terms of the color quality and stuff like that, I mean, those IPS 1440p high refresh rate monitors are usually pretty good panels. Good. I've never run into a bad one.
I know. I mean, they're good. I mean,
like the Predator and that.
They're good. They're good, but it's just after using this, it's like it's a blast to the past for me. I can remember the CCFL glory days. Like, that's for me. It just reminds me of using a CCFL monitor. Text is so sharp. Colors are way better. But, you know, of course, you're going to have the guy with the... there's going to be the guy linking me to all these links, you know, TFT Central. Now, TFT Central do a fantastic job. But again, machines and human eyes. It's got to be a part where you say, okay, subjectively, I love this monitor. Now, my eyes are going to be different to your eyes, but there's going to be a part where you're going to say, look, the machines can do all the talking they want. They can give you all the factual results you want. But at the end of the day, you, the user, have to make the decision. If you had these two monitors side by side, which would you like better? And I just, after using this thing, I freaking love it. You know, it's a blast of the past. I'd even like to see them bring back CCFL backlighting on budget monitors. I think that'd sell really well. So
yeah, well, it might be something we see in the future.
Yeah.
Someone also asked in a similar thing, 1440p,
Yeah.
144 hertz, GTX 1070. Is it enough? Yeah, that should be fine. You might, depending on the type of game you're playing, easier to play games such as Overwatch or something like that. You'll be just, that'll be fine. Higher end AAA titles and stuff, you may need, if you want to be taking advantage of that high refresh rate, you may need to drop off the filters and a few things like that. That'll help it get up a bit higher, hold you at that. Probably you'd want it to be at least averaging around 100.
I got asked, do you know 8-bit motherboards? Yes, I've got an 8-bit motherboard here. I bought it in the junk bin. Funny that, hey. I've got one. I don't know what they're doing nowadays, but yeah, I actually do know of 8-bit. I've got one in the bin. Like I think it's old school, like socket something 49 or something. Oh man, I forgot my old school. So yeah, 939. That's the one. Yeah. Anyone tried Days of War? Have you tried Days of War?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
All right. So yeah, topics. I have an off-topic, not hot question. What do you think about ASRock's Z97 Extreme 4 motherboard? Not bad. The Extreme 4 is always going to be that sort of mediocre VRM. Decent for the money. Z97 should be no different. I actually forgot what exactly MOSFETs they're putting exact MOSFETs they're putting on that, chokes and caps, etc. But yeah, so usually where the Extreme 4 fits, it's a pretty good balance. I like it for the money. Okay, so we're winding up the questions, guys. If you've got any sort of last question for Brian, are you on the Overclock Australia's forums? I mean, I've joined the Overclock AU forums. I don't check it much. I've just been so busy. Places a goldmine for cheap secondhand parts. Yeah, true. Awesome. I mean, I've got to check that out. Maybe for CPUs, I'd go check out the overclocking forums because you know, postage is really cheap. But like when it comes to getting bigger parts, like especially like motherboards or graphics cards and stuff like that, you really want to pick them up locally. So Gumtree would easily be the best for that. I mean, you saw that. If you didn't see that vlog video I did yet, man, I picked up a 770, a 7950, and a 280X for like 280 Australian total for the 3 graphics cards. So what's that? Like not even 200 US or something. Like ridiculous, man. 3 really damn good graphics cards, even till this date, for like F all. You know what I mean? Incredible. And they're all good condition. I've got the 770. It's running right now. And it's funny, this 770 right here, it's the reference model from EVGA, but it's actually surprisingly really quiet. Like I thought it was only, you remember they had their founders, their metal shroud, even on the 780 and the 780 Ti, they had their whatever fancy model, and then they had the dumbed down models. This is supposedly the dumbed down model, but it's actually really good. Like it's actually really damn quiet. I was shocked how quiet that thing was on the 770. I was like, I was expecting it to be a freaking aircraft, but it's actually really good. Like it's actually really good. So yeah, awesome. So
one question that was interesting, this will be good for you, Brian, as well. Any bad selling experience with selling older parts? Any advice when selling? Well, from my point of view, I haven't done a lot of it, so Brian will probably have better advice than me, but I was just always very truthful when I was selling old PC parts. You know, take very clear pictures, tell the people. If it was an old CPU, I would tell them that it had been overclocked or anything. I just try to be very truthful about it, and I never had any problems with any of it at any point.
Okay, don't sell rubbish. Like, you know, if you sell rubbish, you're just bringing down the whole community, really. Like, you know, every time I do a build, it's funny because, like, for me, I don't know, like, I don't take pride in the cosmetics of a build, but I do take pride in how the final product runs, you know. And I get a lot of questions on those used builds. Like, a lot of people will be messaging me going, dude, you know, like your PC's running better than my i7 49 or 4790K and a GTX 980. And it's like, but that's what I do. Like I tweak the Windows, everything. I make sure the overclocks are stable. Everything's running just, you know, perfecto. And then I sell it. That's how I do it. So I make sure the thing's running really well, and then I sell it. Make sure everything's smooth, because the guy getting this, I tell them too, you know, when I sell this, I say, look, it's overclocked. You might, if are you using it in even when I sell the computer, I say, look, are you using this in an aircon environment? Are you using it in a non-aircon environment? Big difference, you know, especially now in summer. If he's saying no, I'm using it just no aircon, I'll actually go and downclock the stuff for them. Like I'll go downclock it to safer levels. Because that's so you got to take pride in what you sell. If you always take pride in what you sell, people are going to recommend you to friend. People are going to say, "Oh, I bought from him in the past. He's awesome. I'm going to buy from him again." So do yourself a favor and just take pride in what you sell. If you're going to sell,
be truthful, be honest.
If you're going to sell trash, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Karma is a bitch. Karma's a bitch. Karma's a real thing. It exists.
Yeah,
and it exists for a reason. It's just the act of being dodgy. So don't be dodgy. Take pride in what you sell. My used builds, they just like seriously, when I put them up for sale, they sell in a few days. Like I do, you know, I'm surprised at how fast some of them sell, and I'm making a decent profit sometimes. So that's just the used parts. I love it. Like I love doing the used parts. It's just I can't do it all the time. As I said in that vlog, it's like, you know, because I film the whole thing, I have to edit the video, and you know, it takes ages to do those videos because I got to benchmark it, install Windows, like all the stuff you see on camera. That takes so ages. It takes a long time to do a video. If I was just going out,
so much stuff goes on behind the scenes. Like people don't understand how long it takes us to make videos. It's like about 10, probably 5% of your time spent making a video is like filming. Then probably about 20% or 30% is editing, and all the rest is just prep and testing and everything else.
That's what I mean. Getting the right angle on the camera. For me, it's like probably about 30% of, like, I could, if I was just no camera, no editing, no filming, I could probably do everything 3 times faster. Basically, I could have a build. I could have a build ready to go in half a day, like ready to build and sell. But since I'm filming it, making a video for you guys, it's 2 days for a whole build.
Yeah, it takes ages.
Yeah, talking on the camera, filming it, editing it, posting it.
Yeah, stop, move the camera, start filming again, do something else, move the camera. So
it takes a lot of work, guys. So hope you appreciate it, though. Hope you guys appreciate it, and you do. I mean, there's so many people who appreciate it, and I thank you guys so much for that. But of course, you get the one guy who's like, I want more. It's like, man, I'm only human, brother. I want more, and I want it now. God damn it! No, just if I can put it on the sunnies here. Well, anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 12 of the Tech Lounge. Actually, we got a lot of live viewers. Thanks. We got like a lot, almost 300. Really cool. Thanks for tuning in live, guys. I think Kev's audio is fixed too, and it's going to be fixed from now on. Because I know Kev's audio. We knew it was set up beforehand, because we had it checked. So we knew everything was sweet. So if it's going a bit funny on the stream, then it must be something else going on. Because definitely on my end, it was sounding a lot better. It's sounding a lot better this time.
It was 100% set. So if they're still having problems, then it might just be something with the stream or the internet connection or something else.
So in the title, I'm going to put in caps: Kev's audio fixed T. So save some characters as well. So okay.
We'll make sure it's Pascal refresh, not Maxwell refresh. So people's heads don't explode. I
got to be careful, guys. I'm sorry. Make these mistakes. Just like the H versus H, where you know, so it's funny because they say in southeast Queensland especially, everyone says HD. All right, guys, we're gonna catch you next week live. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Check out the Tech City forums. Check out techcity.tv. Go check out Kev's channel as well. I'll put a link in the description. And guys, thanks for all the support so far. And I'm gonna peace out. Kev's gonna peace out. Any closing statements, Kev?
Nah, just still loving doing the show. Thank you all you guys for watching. Had a really good turnout today, so that was really fun, and look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yep. All right, guys. Love y'all. Peace out. Catch you next week.